Dr. Dre is the name, I'm ahead of my game. Still puffin' my leaf, still with the beats, still not loving police.
Behind the beats and billion-dollar business, there's a side of Dr. Dre the world rarely sees: his turbulent love life. From high-profile romances to shocking allegations, his relationships have been filled with controversy, drama, and heartbreak. Welcome to Celeb Love. Let's unravel the roller coaster ride of Dr. Dre's love affairs. Cassandra first met Dr. Dre in 1980. Having been close friends for a long while, they decided to date in 1981. At that time, Dre was just 16 years old, while Cassandra was 15 years old. Together, they had a son named Curtis. According to reports, Dr. Dre wasn't a part of Curtis's life for a long time, but he eventually met his son 20 years after he was born. Today, he's an upcoming rapper just like his father under the name Hood Surgeon. After parting ways with Cassandra, Dre's love life took an unexpected turn. He found himself in a relationship with an Italian singer, Clara Moroni.
You disappointed me. I should have seen it coming.
Was this a bold new chapter or just another fleeting romance? Born in Milan, Italy, Clara Moroni studied as a dental technician but started singing at a very young age. Known as the Queen of Eurobeats, she was only 14 when her first punk rock band, the Kubrick, performed as an opening act for famous English new wave bands that were touring Italy at that time. She also contributed to the underground band The Arms Dealer as a singer. Afterwards, she traveled to London, where she spent one semester at a university. It was there she discovered dance music. Dre and Clara Moroni started dating in 1982. Regrettably, their relationship was short-lived, as Clara ended it in 1984. After Clara, Dre returned to dating within his community, but his next relationship revealed a side of him that had long been kept in the shadows. Just like we covered in Rihanna's story, relationships can shape careers and reputations. If you missed it, check out that video after this one. Dre started dating Lisa Johnson when she was 14 years old. Johnson grew up in South Central Los Angeles before later moving to the city's west side. Their relationship was quite controversial from the start. Johnson started dating Dre in the 9th grade, but her mother was against their relationship, so she and Dre were always found ditching school to meet secretly. Johnson became pregnant with Dre's child while she was in the 10th grade, and her baby was just 4 months old when her mother threw her out of the house. She gave birth to her first child, LaTanya, at the age of 15. Dre, who was just 17 years old at the time, was a really proud father. Johnson had 2 more children with Dre, LaToya and Ashley Young. Unfortunately, the pair separated in the late 1980s when their daughter LaTanya was 5 years old. Now, on May 19, 1985, Dre was given a court order to stay at least 100 yards away from Johnson and to pay $200 a month in child support for each of his girls. During the course of the relationship, Johnson accused Dre of assault while they were together. There were court documents to prove the fact that Dre was guilty of assault. However, due to the age of the court documents, which were on microfiche, these cases remain unpublicized. According to reports, Dre never paid any child support and never contributed financially to his kids until the court ordered him to do so in the 90s. At this time, Dre had become a huge star with the NWA as a solo artist. Aside from Dr. Dre, alleged to be an abuser, the next person we're about to show you also received hell and went through pains after Dre left her. Even though it happened, not much has been said about Dr. Dre's relationship with Jenita Porter. The couple, who started dating in 1987, gave birth to a son, Andre Young Jr., but their relationship didn't last long, as it ended a year later. Having a child came with its consequences, and Dr. Dre wanted no part of it. In a 1990 report, Jennifer Porter filed a $5,000 a month paternity suit against Dre. According to court documents, Dre promised to support Andre Young Jr. before he was born. However, Porter claims she only received a small amount of cash, some gifts, and some diapers for the child. At the time, Andre Jr. was just 2 years old. Dr. Dre, who was on tour with NWA in London, admitted through his attorney that he was the child's father. However, despite acknowledging paternity, he claimed he had only agreed to pay $500 a month in support. While Dre made efforts years later to be part of his son's life, tragedy struck when Andre Young Jr. passed away. Andre Young Jr. died in August 2008 at the age of 20 from a drug and heroin overdose at his mother's home in Woodland Hills, California. After Dre's issue with Jenita, fans began to see Dr. Dre's true nature, and things were only about to get worse for the next lady he dated. Michele was the vocal artist behind Ruthless Records and Death Row Records.
I think it's time to let you know exactly what I'm feeling.
She and Dr. Dre started dating in 1988. Her career was already picking up with songs like Something in My Heart and No More Lies. Many fans hoped she was Dre's The One because this was one of the longest relationships he had at that time. Their union gave birth to a son named Marcel in 1991. But things took a U-turn when Michele learned that Dr. Dre was already engaged to another woman. After their separation, Michele revealed a lot about her ex, stating that he was very abusive and was also toxic throughout the relationship. While Dre had some long-term relationships, not all of them lasted. In fact, some barely made it past a few days. No matter how hard they tried, it just didn't work. And that was exactly the case with a certain video vixen we all know. According to Karrine, she met Dr. Dre with the help of her cousin Big Chuck, who was G-Rep's manager. She was first introduced to Dre while he was on set for a video shoot for Eminem. After being around each other for a while, they decided to go on a date. According to Karrine, the conversation between them was quite awkward that evening. It wasn't organic, and she didn't feel comfortable with where it was going. They ended up in bed, but according to Karrine, she didn't have fun. Ultimately, their relationship did not work out. In 2013, rumors began to circulate about the relationship between Dr. Dre and Kili Anderson. According to reports, Kili had a child with Dre, which they both decided to keep under wraps. But guess how this secret was revealed? In 2019, court papers defending Anderson and her company, the Body Bakery, surfaced in a lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed by Brian Zerba, a former employee of the tanning salon, who claimed he was wrongfully terminated. Zerba alleged that he was asked to sign an NDA because Anderson and Dr. Dre were in a relationship. Court documents revealed that all employees of the Body Bakery were required to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing them from prying into Anderson's personal life or sharing any private details they learned. However, Zerba was caught asking questions about Kili Anderson, her child, and the true nature of her relationship with Dre. There's no doubt that Dr. Dre had a reputation for being aggressive, but everything seemed to take a turn when he met this one special woman. She was unlike anyone else. But did she truly change him for the better? Was it all worth it? Dre began dating Nicole Young in 1995 and eventually got married just 4 months after they started dating. The couple welcomed 2 children together, but after 24 years of marriage, they were divorced in 2020, with Nicole citing irreconcilable differences as the reason behind their split. This was Nicole's second divorce, as she was once married to NBA player Sedale Threatt. The last time we saw Dr. Dre and his ex-wife was in February 2020 at the Tom Ford fashion show. According to reports, Nicole was seeking $2 million a month in spousal support. Dre was highly devastated after this divorce. Although he retained a significant portion of his wealth and property, he was still required to pay Nicole up to $100 million. In the end, Dre's search for true love left him with 11 children, 8 baby mamas, and court battles over physical abuse. Nicole was the longest-lasting relationship in his life, yet even she couldn't change his ways. Their love story ended not in a happily ever after, but in courtrooms and millions in settlements. And now, Dr. Dre is single once again. Will Dr. Dre ever find love again, or is he destined to stay single? If Nicole couldn't make it work, does anyone stand a chance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you love deep dives into celebrity relationships, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us whose love life we should cover next. See you in the next video.